Well, we've got some truly disgusting developments coming out of the state of Texas, where two college professors, a philosophy professor and a finance professor, both men, by the way, in case that wasn't already immediately obvious, who have filed a lawsuit in the state of Texas asking for permission to punish any female students or female aides they may have who get abortions. Abortions that, by the way, do not affect the college. They don't affect the classes. I mean, it's really a personal choice for that young woman. But these college professors are so irate over the fact that, hey, women may have control over their own bodies. We got to put a stop to that. So they've actually filed a lawsuit to allow themselves to be able to punish these women and flunk them out of their classes if they go seek an abortion. Let me read this. This is from Amanda Marcotti at salon.com. And of course, this is quoted from the lawsuit. Quote, "Pregnancy is not a disease, and elective abortions are not health care," University of Texas at Austin Professor Daniel Bonovac sneers in a federal court filing with Professor John Hatfield. Instead, Bonovac writes, because pregnancy is the result of voluntary and consensual sexual intercourse, students should not be allowed time off to get abortions. If the students disobey and miss class for abortion care, the filing continues, the professor should be able to flunk the students. Additionally, Bonovac asserts that he has right to refuse to employ a teaching assistant who has had an abortion, calling such women, quote, criminals. Now, Marcotti continues and explains what the men are actually suing over. At issue are federal regulations called Title IX, first signed into law by President Richard Nixon in 1972. They currently bar publicly funded schools from discriminating on the basis of sex or gender. This means that schools cannot penalize students for health care based on sex. As a male student would be granted leave if he had to travel for surgery, so must a female student, the federal statute requires. The two men argue that granting students an excused absence in such cases violates their First Amendment rights. Because everybody loves to hide behind the First Amendment, right? You can't do that, my freedom of speech. Your freedom of speech does not trump the health care of another person. And contrary to what you said in your filing, Professor, abortion is in fact healthcare. It is literally a legitimate healthcare procedure. You may not like it. You may not agree with it. You may not ever have one. Wonderful for you. You don't have to be in that position because you physically can't be in that position. But you do not have the right to tell these students that if you do this, it violates my First Amendment. Therefore, I get to flunk you for missing a class. Like, you can't flunk this is ridiculous on its face anyway, because you can't even flunk somebody because they miss a class or two. I couldn't tell you how many times I missed classes in college. And trust me, it wasn't for healthcare issues. I felt like crap, trust me. But that was, due to the night before. Missed classes all the time. No teacher ever flunked me for it. So this is ridiculous on its face. It's oppressive for these young women. And get this. Marcotti explains even further. Even though Bonovac and Hatfield work in Austin, Texas, they filed their lawsuit 486 miles away in Amarillo, Texas. The reason for this is not mysterious. Donald Trump-appointed Judge Matthew Kacsmaryk. The right-wing judge has a long and frankly unhinged history of screeching at top volume about the evils of sexual revolutionaries. It takes very little to draw Kacsmaryk's sexualization condemnation. Premarital sex, for instance, makes one a sexual revolutionary. Using contraception within marriage also makes one an irredeemable pervert. In his legal writing, Kacsmaryk is very clear that sex is only for procreation within marriage, and anything outside of that should draw legal sanction. He has not weighed in on whether there should be restrictions on what sexual positions are legally permissible within the procreation-only marital sex, but give him time. Like, y'all hate women. You clearly hate sex. Like, whatever your personal hang-ups are should not become the law of the land for the rest of us. If you don't like sex, don't be having sex. Or maybe learn how to do it properly, because, if you're not enjoying it, something's wrong, and it's probably wrong with you. Maybe take lessons, maybe read a book. I don't know. Unless you have a health issue that really prevents you from being able to enjoy it, then, go see a healthcare provider, see about fixing it. but y'all seem to have some real problems with what other people are doing in their bedrooms. And that's not okay. And you're trying to force your hang-ups on everybody else by taking rights away from these young women in Texas. And for the record, you want your school to go bankrupt? You want all the women to just leave the campus and never come back? You want students to enter that transfer portal faster than you can even comprehend? Keep going down this route, because I promise you, it'll happen. Well, folks, we have crossed that 1 million subscriber milestone, but rest assured, we are just getting started here at Ring of Fire. So if you're not already, please do subscribe to the channel and make sure to like, share, and comment on the videos.